Hello there. Welcome to the wrap-up for my Testing Our Beliefs series. It's where I shave for a week with a Mueller R41, and then I was going to go a whole week with a Gillette Tech, the most aggressive razor currently manufactured, most people's opinions, and a very mild razor, and see the differences in the shave and kind of test some beliefs that I had. I did not shave any more than about 3 days with the Tech, but I am a Gillette, I guess, aficionado, or whatever you want to call it, a fan, or whatever you want to call it, of the old vintage Gillettes, the Techs, the Super Speeds, the News, that kind of deal. And I'm very familiar with those razors, so it didn't take me long I know how that razor shaves, and it did not take me long to be able to make a solid comparison between the shaves between those two razors. And this is the wrap up. It's kind of how what I think, my opinion, and my experiences. And so let's just get right down to it. The biggest thing people probably want to know is there a difference between the results of a shave between a very aggressive razor like the Mueller R41 and a very mild razor like the Gillette Tech? Well, for me, no, not a dime's worth of difference. The Mueller R41 did not shave me any more closer than a Gillette Tech, and it does not shave me any closer with less passes. In other words, if you watch the videos, I did 2 passes on the Mueller. I did 2 passes on the Tech. That's it. No extra touch-up, no extra passes, none of that. I got the exact same closeness of shave between both razors. Now, this tells me that, for me at least, and for people with my beard type, because your beard type and your skin plays a role that I can't analyze for you. Your beard and your skin might be different than mine, so there are variables that I don't have any control over. But for me, for my skin type, for my beard type, which is a fairly mild beard, I don't have peach fuzz, but it's a fairly mild beard. But you have to also realize I'm 52 years old, and my hair is gray. A lot of my beard, half of my beard is gray. You can see it in the mustache. And the hair is wiry, so that's more difficult to cut too. So all of that's going to play a role. But for my beard type, for my skin, it made absolutely no difference. And I really do believe that, for me at least, and for my beard type, it came down to angle. If I maintain the proper angle with the Gillette, the razor cuts hair just fine. It works just fine. Works just as well as the more aggressive razor. What that means for you, I can't tell you. But I'm thoroughly and absolutely, completely convinced it comes down to technique and not the aggressiveness or mildness of the razor, at least for me. Now, are there differences in the way these razors shave? Absolutely there is. There's a difference between the way the razor feels on your face. There's a difference in whether or not one is more prone to irritation than the other. And so with the Mueller R41, I've heard people describe Ds and SEs, as some of them that were very aggressive, as being kind of like a straight. Well, I kind of take issue with that in one respect, and that is that the angle on a straight and the feel of a straight is not going to be, there's not going to be a DE that even comes close to that. But the aggressiveness of the R41 with the blade gap, the feel of that edge on my face was like a straight razor, because for me, not only did I get that good solid contact where you knew there was an edge on your face with no problems. You knew and understood that's a raw edge. But I got a very wonderful smoothness out of this razor. Now I know that I have read and seen people talk about, the razor kind of skips or it's not very smooth. I did not experience that with the R41. It's a wonderfully smooth razor, and paired with a feather, it's incredibly smooth. But even with the SPs that I was using in the beginning, wonderful smooth razor, but you could feel that edge without any kind of problem. Any kind of angle that I had a wide margin of angle, and you could still feel that edge really well. And see, that's what I was talking about before with the vintage Gillettes and the mild razors. You don't have very much of a window for that angle. So, of course, if you're not following proper technique and you don't have your angle right, that razor's not going to cut, and it's not going to shave. So you're not going to get a good shave out of that. But that's not the razor's fault. You have decided that you don't like having to have that good or that close attention paid to the angle of that razor. You just want to shave, so you're going for the aggressive razor. But that doesn't mean that's the Gillette's fault. You decided you didn't want to keep that angle. Now, like I said, this is all my beard type, my skin type, and all my opinion and my experience with the razor. In no way am I accusing anybody of being lazy or any of that kind of stuff, but I firmly believe from my experiences with this that it comes down to, are you going to maintain the angle of that mild razor so that you can feel that razor on your face? And also another part of it is are you going to rinse that razor regularly? Some guys don't want to do that. So a more aggressive razor would be more in keeping with their personality, because they don't want to rinse very often, and they don't want to have such a, what's the right word? An awareness of technique. They want to some guys like to get zen-like and kind of shave, and they're not really paying attention to technique as much. My opinion, like I say. But now, the R41 was also much more prone to irritating me. I had to really watch. Now, this is technique, and you should do this with a mild razor or an aggressive razor, and I do to a large extent, but everybody slips up a little bit every now and then, especially when with regard to pressure. And R41 is a creature that does not take kindly to pressure. So with the R41, if I used excessive, even just a little bit more pressure than I needed, or if I went over something a little bit too much, I know that if I would have done that, then that would be more prone to irritation. I got more irritation with the R41. I got a couple of shaves with the Gillette that were absolutely irritation free, no irritation whatsoever. With the R41, I never did get a lot of irritation, but that I would attribute to my technique and the soaps. But I did get a bit of mild irritation. Of course, I did get a little bit of mild irritation on the last video with the Tech using a feather blade for the second day. One of the other things that I learned was that my preferences have changed regarding blades, and the feather, which used to never be any good for more than like one pass for me, did a wonderful job last night on a second. Not one pass, but one shave. It used to not be any more worth anything but like one shave with a feather, and it was done. Last night I shaved with a feather for a second shave, and it was wonderfully smooth and worked really well. You could tell that it wasn't as sharp, but there was no broken glass kind of feeling, and no tugging, no ugliness going on like I used to have. So my face and my technique has improved to a point where the feathers are working for me. At least a couple of shaves. I'll try one again. I'll try this one again probably tonight, because I want to push it a little bit and see how much I can get out of it. But I can tell you that that's also something that's valid, is that if you have a problem with something, don't like something, set it aside for several months. Come back to it. You might be surprised. With all of that said, the caveat is that for my beard type, for my skin type, all of that being a given, the R41 and the Gillette Tech both gave me the same shave, the same closeness of shave. There were just little differences and variances within those two razors. One of the things with the mild razors that this confirmed for me that I like is that they feel wonderfully smooth on your face, and they don't, it's just a wonderfully pleasant shave. So that's the wrap up. That's my findings and what I have come to expect. I would encourage you, if you have things that you believe that are true in wet shaving, but you've never actually put them to the test to see if what you believe is correct, that you do something like what I did here and just find out for yourself if what you think is true is true. All right. God bless you. Thanks for coming along with me, and I'll talk to you later.